All right, you have to forgive the noise. Well, not noise, but like there's just gonna be this weird sound you'll hear coming from the window. It's windy as hell in this country. Now, let's get started, shall we? Right. So it's been a while since I've put anything out. The consistency in uploads is definitely gonna have to wait for a while. Mostly because I only just got everything put together. Well, I got it put together about 2 months ago. And what was I doing? Mostly just the same as always, just working. And well, actually, aside from that, it's not really important to mention. I've just been doing stuff, personal stuff. So been working, trying to use the money I earned to buy myself a PC, but I didn't want to get a pre-built. Initially I did, but I actually watched a video from a creator that I like, and he mentioned to build your own PC. Like it's better you build it. What was probably more affordable is me buying a pre-built, but I actually thought about it. Long term, building it was going to be better. I can change any part of it I want. I can understand it properly, and yeah, that's why I went in. Had to cost me nearly £3,000. I don't have that type of money offhand. Had to pretty much use all my savings. I work a pretty regular part-time job, so you know, don't make that much off of it either. So 3 years of saving got me the PC and everything. Well, almost everything I needed. The webcam and some other stuff I need to get. Still gonna buy those afterwards. Now, um, really, honestly, what I'm really waiting for is medication. I'm still on a waiting list for that stuff, so I don't know. I'll just wait for that. How I publish and get content out will really just depend on whether or not I feel the burst of inspiration to go on an autistic rant about something. I fixate on some stuff, I rant about it and make a video. That's pretty much just my formula for now. ADHD is kind of crazy to live with. Hmm. So many years spent thinking the way I existed was normal, but I find out it's actually not the norm. It is what it is, they say. All right. I did not plan this. I just thought, you know what? Since I got the webcam, let me just put an update out. Um, as for the process of building the PC, it was a very interesting one. I made a few hiccups here and there. And actually, considering the entire process, I'm pretty sure there was only one major hiccup. Yeah, no, it was only, well, two. Two. When I got the motherboard, initially I bought the wrong one. I got this. Start the boxes for everything. I don't think you can even read that, but the B760 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. As for the as for the GPU, a 5080. I just decided I was actually gonna get a 4070. I had to settle with a 5080, which is crazy because people were just buying them all up. They're just buying them all up. So I said, "I well shit. What am I supposed to do then?" Well, at the time I was trying to buy it, there were no more 4070s. So I said, "All right, cool. I'm gonna just go have to get something else instead." Like almost all of them were bought out. Like at 4060 and 5080 was the only one left. I was like, well, shit. I mean, I don't know. I only found out afterwards that a 5080 is pretty good. I mean, it's not 5090, but definitely gets the job done. Well, that's probably an understatement, but still, the biggest fuck up was that I didn't get the right motherboard at first. I have an Intel processor, so an i7, uh, and I got was it a Ryzen? I don't know if it's Ryzen or something. It was the wrong motherboard. I only found out afterwards, so I had to send that back. Now, when I sent it back, I fucked up again in that same instance and sent back the screws that came with the case, because my brain at the time thought, well, these are motherboard screws, so it probably came with the motherboard. I didn't remember what came with it versus what didn't. So I put the screws in the box and sent that back as well. So I had the screws. And the thing is, I only realized the screw issue when I got the new motherboard. And I was like, the day I wanted to put everything together, it was like, okay, so let me put it all together. This is going to be fun. I can learn and move at the same time. And then I realized, wait, where are the screws at? And then it clicked. I was like, shit. So I had to buy a whole lot more screws. I just went off Amazon and bought it, and I had to wait a whole day to put it together. And then when I finally did get everything together, um, I don't even remember what the part is called, but there was a few cables. What was it? Power, SW, reset, SW, something like that, where the polarity is very important. I did not. I put two of them in the wrong place. So I had to go back and search up online which one's the right one. And the thing is, before I figured out that was wrong, I actually spent a good 10 minutes trying to think where was the issue though. Because obviously, at first, how could I have possibly known that? It was only by troubleshooting and thinking of every single step that I was like, okay, cool. But kept spamming the on button, like, okay, what's going on here? But I got that sorted out. Oh, but then after that, the PC turned on, and then I actually spent a good 5 minutes trying to wonder if I wanted to place it on my right side or my left side, or I guess the sides are reversed looking this way. But yeah, I couldn't decide for some reason. I was like, do I want it here? Do I want it there? See, the door to enter the room is here, so I wanted that little bit of screen being blocked out by the PC. Also, the insides of the PC, I can't be bothered to pick up the webcam and really like mess with the focus. I couldn't like I didn't want to bother t- taking it off and put it there, but the PC's over here and the insides that you could actually see in the glass, it's all facing this way. So if I put it here, I'd be seeing the back, and I was like, I don't want to do that right now. But after that, when I turned it on, I realized there was no internet. Why? Because you need to install the drivers. I didn't know that. My first time. But the thing that was annoying was the Wi-Fi is all the way in the living room. So I was like, you know what that meant? I had to turn the whole thing off, pick the whole thing up, walk all over to the flipping living room with the monitor as well. Like I spent like a good amount of minutes just carrying everything there to the living room table, turned it back on, put the Ethernet in, installed the drivers, shut down everything again, carried it all back, and that shit was heavy. And then put it down, and then I could relax. But then, oh wait, you need to activate Windows. I didn't actually manage to do that until a month later. It wasn't really a big deal, but it started to get annoying seeing activate Windows in the screenshots after some time. It was really annoying. Hmm. But I did do all of that eventually, and here I am now. That was quite an adventure. Oh, and I did film some of the process. I don't know, did I already say that or not? My memory's kind of here at this bit, but kind of jumbled. I did film some of the process. Uh, Eventually, I'll upload that. Just so in 10 years' time, I, as well as people who may watch me relatively recent to 10, like myself in 10 years, can always just go back and say, if they're ever wondering, oh, where did he come from? That's where I came from. Just a guy who didn't really want to have to work. Well, it's a bit more complex than not wanting to work, honestly. The reason I want to make content is because I've come to realize through just living that I have a weakness in so many areas, mostly because of how my brain is wired. And I feel like if I'm gonna have to make money for myself or something in any way, I'd rather it be in a way that I can actually do something, something my brain's actually good at and enjoys and can stick to consistently. Well, consistency is going to be an issue, but with medication, that problem can be solved. So I did a lot of thinking, and I ended up here. Now, yeah, I'll put those videos up another time. Jesus Christ, I have too many photos. I need to delete a lot of them. Yeah, I'll get around to it. I was gonna find it, but you know what? Oh wait, there's a pause function. Okay, so that took a while, but I found it. I found everything really. For example, I don't think you'll be able to see that. Yeah, that's the CPU and all that stuff. Since it messes with the brightness, I won't be bothering to put it up, but yeah. Putting it together was very fun, honestly. It was very fun. But thankfully everything I did paid off, and here we are now. Looking at every single component individually from how it is inside of the thing. That's enough of that though. Right, now I said what I've been doing. Where will I go going forward? As I've said, I am really just gonna do this thing where I just turn on the camera, talk about what I want to talk about whenever I have some kind of hyperfixation on whatever. Whoever wants to listen will listen. And after I get medication settled, I plan to start grinding a lot because I want to talk about a lot. Whether it's stories inside of games or anime or some other media I watch, I want to talk about them a lot. I really envy the people I see, content creators I see who just talk about it. Whether it's people like Critical Drinker who talks about movies or the smaller channels talking about certain kinds of movies. I envy them only because they're able to just go out and do it. I'm gonna learn how to edit and all everything like that. I'm gonna do that. But even when I know how to do them, I know I'm not gonna just do them because of the way my brain kind of just doesn't do stuff sometimes. But, you know, I'll get there. In the meantime, I'll just keep moseying along, keep saving my money, waiting for a chance to do something great. Or rather, not really for a chance to do it, I'll just make it happen. I should do it, you should do it. If you wait around, it's not gonna just fall in your lap. But it's more like waiting for the ability to do that at will, because that's what I'm missing right now. Hmm. Right. I've said what I needed to say. Now, I'm really just thinking if there's anything I'm missing, because I'm the type of person to only remember that kind of stuff when I'm done. I could just, yeah. Let me just pause that for a second. No, I've said it. I think I've said everything. This was actually my second time trying to record this. The first time I noticed certain things, I said, I need to redo this. So I'm really just pulling from my memory of what I said the first time that I might want to say the second time. But I actually like this run the second time a bit more. I have a tendency to kind of just talk. Once I get started, I kind of just go on tangents, and because my mind is very disorderly, very. I have at least 5 different thoughts in my head at any given moment, or at least if it's not happening simultaneously, then I'm jumping from one up to the next one, and usually that jump happens in about 2 seconds. So while I'm in the middle of saying something, my brain's already thinking about something else and might or might not bring it up. If I don't bring it up, I tend to forget it, which is why I also move on quickly. My working memory is trash, so in a rush to not forget, I just ramble on 5 different branching thoughts at one time. That's just how I am, and I don't think that's gonna change, honestly. I don't think there's any amount of trying will change how my brain just goes through that. So if you like hearing someone who just talks about that kind of stuff or just talks in general, especially on things you agree on, I see myself as a well-reasoned guy. I'm always going to be the guy who looks at things logically and processes things before emotionally going, no, no. I kind of had to deal with that my entire life, being surrounded by people who kind of just delve with the emotion first. Never really jived with me. So I said, nah, how about I just think about it first? That's going to be me. That's what you should expect from me. So now that I've said that, I can finally just stop with this and move on. Hell, I don't even think I'm going to publish this on the same day. I might even just get this out a month later. Who knows? I'll get it out when I get it out. Like, if I force it, I found that I'm less liable to do something again when I force myself to do it. I guess the it's not really pain, but the effort of going through doing that, like when I'm fighting my own body, the experience, I kind of just remember it and I'm less likely to do it again. So I'll just move at my own pace, as I always have. Thanks for watching. I'll see you when I see you.